as there have been so many advancements in the banjo building art, particularly during the instrument's heyday of mainstream popularity during the 1920s and 30s. It is a rarity when a contemporary banjo builder is able to not only equal but surpass both the construction as well as the decorative standards of the venerated makers of the past. Through a lifetime body of work, Greg Rich is one such individual, capturing and distilling the spirit of the banjo's vibrant past into modern-day works of banjo art. Having never heard a banjo while growing up in Newport Beach, California, Greg Rich was intrigued by the exciting instrument he heard in the film Bonnie and Clyde. A visit to a local Shakey's Pizza Parlor with its live banjo player cemented his love of the banjo's unique sound, and after being befriended by a nearby banjo collector named Randy Snoddy, Greg spent countless hours learning all he could about vintage banjos. Overwhelmed at the sight of a Gibson Florentine from the 1920s, the confident young man declared, "I am going to build one of these." Woodworking classes at the Boys Club were followed by specialized guitar building classes in San Diego, as well as crash courses in metal engraving, wood carving, and custom painting. Teaching himself the fine points of all these skills under the mentorship of Randy Snoddy, the budding luthier took up residence in Snoddy's workshop and began the 1.5-year odyssey that resulted in Greg Rich's first custom-built banjo. Rich's reputation spread quickly in Southern California after he began doing custom repairs, always being mindful never to overdo his work, making the banjos he repaired look as original and aged as possible. Such specialized skills and mindset were put to perfect use when Greg was hired by Mac Yasuda to curate and perform repairs and restorations on banjos which were headed for the fabled collection of Akira Samura. But yet another milestone was on the horizon for Greg Rich. In response to a new banjo boom created by the resurgence of bluegrass music in the mid-1980s, Gibson endeavored to resurrect their ailing banjo line to its former glory. After a spectacularly failed initial effort, Greg Rich was hired by Gibson and given authority to handpick a crew of the company's finest luthiers to staff the new banjo division. Under Rich's leadership and fertile creative mind, the glorious Gibson banjos made during his tenure are regarded with identical admiration and respect as the company's masterworks from the 1920s and 30s. Additionally, many one-of-a-kind art guitars and banjos personally created by Greg Rich made their way to stars such as Roy Rogers, Gene Autry, and Garth Brooks, as well as to the collections of the world's foremost instrument aficionados. Unwilling to compromise his name, Rich left Gibson in 1993 to form a partnership with California guitar builder Bob Taylor in the production of Rich and Taylor banjos prior to helping Saga Musical Instruments with the revamping of their Gold Star banjo line. Still, envisioning himself as one of the 1920s craftsmen who were making playable works of art, in 2005, Greg joined Recording King, where in addition to taking over their USA custom shop, he designed the company's production model banjos, which are currently being manufactured in China.
We all live in a yeller submarine, yeller submarine, a yeller submarine. We all live in a yeller submarine, yeller submarine, a yeller submarine.
In the world of the banjo, Gibson instruments produced during his tenure are often reverently referred to as Greg Rich era banjos. While a sincere testament to his impact upon the revitalization of the iconic banjo brand, in reality, the Greg Rich era began long before his years at Gibson and continues to the present day with every instrument which mirrors his loving and flamboyant vision. Greg Rich, welcome to the American Banjo Museum Hall of Fame.
prepared a few notes. Unfortunately, thanks to Johnny, I can't talk about half of them. 1970, Newport Beach, California, first day of summer. I was loading my surfboard and my banjo into my van to go surfing and then to my banjo lesson. You guys have crazy Italian moms, or any mom. When my mom saw me load that new banjo that I had just bought into the car, well, the words, the hand gestures, I mean, the warning I got about taking that banjo, right? Somebody's going to steal that banjo. In Newport Beach, what are you, crazy? They'd load their banjos into my van just to get rid of them. Honey, break in, throw that thing in there. Mom was right, because when I got back from surfing, my banjo was gone. Yeah, brand new Gibson Mastertone. Couldn't believe it. So I went on down to the Newport Beach Police Department, filled out a police report, pleaded with the desk sergeant, please find this banjo. I have to go home and face my mom. And if the verbal beating wasn't bad enough, I'm telling you, the physical beating. He understood my position and filed my police report. I mean, well, I'll never forget the sound of it. Banjos, right? I drive over to my banjo teacher's house, told him what happened. First words out of his mouth, your mom's gonna kill you. But he gave me a phone number of a collector in Costa Mesa, California. And he goes, call this guy, he buys banjos, maybe he'll find your banjo for you. I still had to go home, though. So I'm driving home, I'm practicing being beat up like, oh, Mom, ow, that hurt, oh, yeah. I get home, my parents aren't home. I called the number, introduced myself to him, told him what happened. He goes, how fast can you come over to my house? I said, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Turns out he only lived a couple miles away. I get to the front door, he introduces himself, I walk in, he goes, is that your banjo? He had just bought my stolen banjo. So we jump in his car, we run down to the bank, we stop payment on the check, the thief gets arrested, and I get my banjo back in the same day. And that was the day I met R.C. Snotty, Randy Snotty. From that day on, if I wasn't at school or at Shakey's Pizza, I was at Randy's house playing music and learning about banjos. He inspired me to follow my dream in building. When I wanted to go to guitar building school, he helped me, my tuition to go. When I needed my first shop, when I graduated, he moved his cars out of his garage and let me put my tools in there to start learning. He was there, well, the whole step of the way. Tonight, I know he's looking down from heaven and he's thinking, oh, wow, he can't, I couldn't be prouder of what he did for me and his inspiration. So to Randy, I know you're looking down tonight. Thank you for everything, and thank you for this incredible honor to be here tonight. Thank you so much.